Hello everybody. So you've built a city. You want to get to the highest density possible. You want to get to the heavy density, which allows you to have 10 occupants. Let's go over everything you have to do to get there, along with some other tricks on how to generate early game revenue, trade items that I like, and how to get the perfect housing plot. Let's go over the requirements that you need for housing density. At Tier 2 housing density, you need light fortification and patrol coverage. Tier 3 housing density, you need heavy fortifications. This is the hardest one to get to, but it's really not that difficult once you understand the process. Up here in the top is a visibility screen. This makes it really nice to see the fortification areas. So if you click this fortification tab, it will show you your fortification spread. Now, you'll see that I am using a few buildings with towers to get light fortifications, and I'm also using watchtowers to get light and heavy fortification. So let me explain how I get to those points. So in this first example, I actually used my tax office in the middle of a residential area to get the light fortification bonus. Up here in your prosperity tab, one of the first things you need to do is unlock your manor house. This gives you access to the Great Hall and the tax office. Once you hit 10 prosperity and 25 splendor, you will unlock village fortifications. This will give you the village watchtower, which covers a small area with light active fortification. And over time, you will get to 100 prosperity, 150 splendor, and you will unlock city fortifications. This gives you access to the city watchtower, which has heavy fortifications. Also in village fortifications, you'll get a building called watch post. This is incredibly important because it allows you to hire guards and it allows you to hire patrols. Now, patrols, as you can see, are the second thing that you need. So in this example, what I've done is off of my tax office in the center, I have built a watch post. I've hired 2 patrollers, 4 watchmen. Now, you'll know if you have enough watchmen if it says down here extended guard coverage. You can see as I take this away, it goes down to partial guard coverage. So just have enough watchmen, expand the building. Once you unlock the light village tower, you won't need areas like this. You can see in the example that I have here, going into the edit build tab, I'm using a tower. If you look at the tower, you can see it has a radius, right? Now, if you increase the size of the tower, you can get a higher radius. It looks really wonky. This is how high I had to get it to hit all of the houses in its immediate vicinity. Down here, you can see I used another village watchtower to get the light fortification bonus. You can use guard patrols, but they're really, really inefficient off of a wall piece. You can hit like maybe about 2 or 3 houses with it. I really prefer the village watchtower, so I'm not even going to show you how to do that, to be honest. Now, over here is another prime example of using a watch post manor house and a tower to hit light fortifications. And then from there, I just hired literally 1 patroller, 1 or so watchmen so that they have someone actively near them. And then once you have that perk unlocked, you go into patrolling. You just have to place a dot pretty much on the house and you're golden. Highlight the house until you see the symbol above it. And that's how you set up a patrol. And if you notice that your patrols are in the yellow or red, and they're not fully lit up like they are here, that means you need more people on patrol. So that's literally it to getting to medium density houses. And you can do that relatively easy with just 25 labor splendor and 10 prosperity. So the big bottleneck that you're going to have is, how do I get prosperity? How do I get labor splendor? Incredibly, incredibly easy. So labor splendor can be pretty much spawned. You can see over here, on my watch post and tax office, going into the edit building, you will need tier 2 decorations for this. You will need to get to 10 prosperity and unlock tier 2 decorations. And you can get your first 10 prosperity simply just by building your town up and getting enough people. So you can see the majority of my prosperity now at 126. It's from territory, commerce, which is trade, my population, which is 138, and splendor itself, and that's collective splendor. So what I personally do is I build a manor. Once you build your manor, you really want to do this off the bat, because the early game taxes and all of that, like in the first hour, they suck. Then you just go to select mandate and you put a levy on your villagers. So if I do this, this is a lot. You'll probably get more like 150. Now, there is a risk if you do this excessively that serfs might leave. Though I will say, I'm playing on the hardest difficulty, and it's very forgiving. I've taxed the heck out of these people. Dismiss this mandate. And so I'll shake the town down, get my tier 1 decorations. So you do need money to buy this tier 2 decoration, so you'll want to shake it down. And then I will just go into common decorations, the rose bush. So for every 5 I spend, I get 1 splendor. So you can just spam this as you go. That will get you into light fortifications like really, really fast, allow you to set up patrols by buying village fortifications and get into medium density housing. Really, really fast. Very, very easy. Just remember, set up patrols, do all that jazz. Now, the hard part is getting to City Watchtower, right? This is hard because it's a tier 4. You need 150 labor splendor. You need a lot of stuff. What I recommend you do when you get to this stage is get your tavern up ASAP, start producing alcohol, start getting your population up, continue to place bushes down until you get to 75 and get yourself an inn. So in my village, you can see the majority of my income right now, 192 is coming from my tavern. And that is because I've been growing slowly this massive inn. And I'm producing an enormous amount of alcohol, doing a lot of stuff, and I'm trading a lot. So essentially, it's just maintaining enough money to continually put down items that spawn splendor. Let me give you some more money tips. You're going to want to get into trade. Now, it's important to note, if you do not have a warehouse or a granary with a slot for those items to be stored, they will not be bought and they will not be traded. So if I'm buying tools, I have to have a warehouse that can receive them. When you look at your items up here, it says storage, production, stalls, transit. Only items in storage can be traded, okay? Now, through the manor, you can increase your trade route volume. At high difficulty, it's 20 per trade. The first thing you're going to want to do is unlock this route, which will allow you to sell polished stone for 3 and boards for 1. Polished stone and boards, incredibly easy in your first stages. This will get you very far. You can also set up a purchase order for tools. Go up here, Royal Book, Trade Routes. You go to Resources. Now, the item is on the left. There's 2 dials here. One to buy, one to sell. If you have the ability to click on this, it means that you have the option to either buy or sell it. So this box over here basically says, any clothing over 50 I want to sell. I hit this, sell everything above this value. And you can see with polished stone, I'm selling everything over 20. With tools, I'm buying to maintain at least 10. I'm also producing them, but a lot of people have pointed out it's just much better to buy them. Another tip I'm going to give you is to buy the extended village edict as fast as you possibly can in regards to tools. Sorry, I just want to give you guys another tip. Go into your Royal Book, Edicts and Privilege. The first edict you want to get is refund 50% of tools after they have been used to construct a building apart. This will save you an insane amount of money and an insane amount of tools. It is one of the most overpowered. It is so critical to get this as soon as possible. It's incredible. All right, but those are early game trade items, and just go through and start unlocking trade, unlocking routes. You can see over here I've unlocked this route, and I'm selling berry brew, lots of stuff. So once you get your tavern up and your berry brew and you get all these guys going, make sure at your service counter that you're selecting berry brew. I always forget that. But build yourself out a normal tavern like this. You can say I have a public lounge. So when you create your first building, make sure that you're not creating in like separated buildings. Just do create sub building. So build your public lounge, your service counter, your berry brewery, your inn lodge. And remember that the berry brewery needs a chimney in order to function. Also remember to put doors on it because you need a door for the whole thing to work. And that's really it. And then once you unlock the inn down here, this is where the game really starts taking off for you. This is where a lot of your early game revenue can come from. That will help you push in your population up. That will help you push your splendor points up, being able to buy bushes until you get city fortifications. So this is Village Watchtower, which is light fortification. And this is the City Watchtower. You can see it has a huge range. And then in this example, I put mine here to hit all these buildings. I'm going to put another one probably over here to hit all these buildings. But once you have that up, as long as you have enough people in the Watchmen, you can see I need one more, maybe 2. There we go, extended guard coverage. As long as you have enough people to do all that, you're going to get the heavy, and you're going to be able to get up to the tier 3 housing. But that is essentially the early game strategy that I used to push myself into heavy density housing. Now you're probably wondering, you're a dirty grid builder. If you do a large swath like this, if you just paint a residential area, they'll take up a lot of space. Like they might take up a space that is, let me just use something different for this, that big, right? For one house. But if you start from the bottom here, right? And you go up 11 click by holding control and using the mouse wheel. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That is a perfect house on a circle or a square. So if you do 11 ticks, you can see I dialed mine in. I built them one at a time. And when they moved in, I did the next one. And that allows me to get just an insane density of housing, which is really useful, to be quite honest. Anyway, I'm sorry if some of that was convoluted, but I just wanted to make kind of a short guide because people have been asking me how to get to this point. So have a great day.